Let's meet at the library. Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel. Right off the bat you're probably wondering, Julia, where are you? Due to all the craziness in the world, I'm currently living with my parents for a little bit for multiple reasons, but all is well, we're good. And I'm decked out in Harry Potter in his first Christmas at Hogwarts realness because I'm here to share my April TBR, which is mostly centered around the owls. Magical Readathon is one of my favorites. I've been participating since the very first year and I'm really excited. There's some new careers introduced this year and I got my notebook ready for information. I am going to be going after the Care of Magical Children career, obviously. And it sounds really cute. So it's a little ambitious. I'm stressed, but you know, it's not like I'm working right now, so we've got extra time to read. Let's see how it goes. So there are 8 owls that I need to pass in order to fulfill my requirements for my chosen career. So the very first of them is arithmancy, which is to read a book outside of your favorite genre. So my favorite genre I would usually say is historical fiction. So I chose a thriller, a domestic thriller. This is Not That I Could Tell by Jessica Strasser. I don't know. This I chose for a book of the month a while back. I really haven't heard much of anything about this, like negative or positive, so it's kind of interesting that this thriller went a bit under the radar. In all likelihood, I'll probably listen to this as an audiobook, even though I do own it. But you know, should I choose to read it with my eyeballs, I have that option. So this is book number 1. The next prompt, I went very easy on myself. This is for Charms, which is to read a book with a white cover. So I have Kids Grown Up by Sophie Jo. This is a independently published book. Oh my god. I think we can scrap a book off my TBR. Potentially. We'll look into it. This is a book of poetry inspired by Disney and it is so tiny. Like, this will take me 20 minutes, if that, to read. So, doing myself a favor, going with something really simple. For Defense Against the Dark Arts, the prompt is to read a book set at sea, and for that I have Cinnamon and Gunpowder by Eli Brown. Is this a book written by a man? I don't know. That always surprises me when I have a book written by a man. That's not a classic. This is, I believe, a book about a female pirate who kidnaps a chef. I don't know. I'm intrigued. This one, honestly, I'll also probably listen to as an audiobook. Wow, it says an NPR Best Book of the Year. Cool. I don't know. I really like the premise of this. I'm very intrigued. I don't read a lot of books about pirates, but if they're lady pirates, yes. Next up is a book for herbology, and they want you to read a book that starts with the letter M. This one is Killing Two Birds with One Stone because for the month of April, the Austin Anonymous read-along book club, I don't know what their official group thing is reading Mansfield Park. And I'm one of the co-guest hosts, so that's really exciting. This is, other than Northanger Abbey, the only Jane Austen novel I've yet to read, so I'm very excited. This is a chunker for Jane Austen. I think this might be her longest novel, this or Emma. But I absolutely love the movie, the one from, it's like 1999, I think. It's divisive because it's weird, but I love it. I love it. And this features my favorite Jane Austen charming rogue character. You know, like the Wickhams and the Willoughbys of it all. Let's just say I'm really excited. If you want to know a little preview to my opinion, you can watch my old video where I played Jane Austen, what's it called? Rip It or Ship It. That was a good time. Yeah, I'm intimidated but really excited about this. I am tempted to make this another audiobook, but I want to read it visually. I'll probably just read this copy. For the History of Magic Owl, the prompt is to read a book involving witches or witchcraft, you know, like the Salem witch trials. So I have The Babysitters Coven by Kate Williams. This is out, but I'm reading an ARC copy. Thanks, Jocelyn. And I don't actually know a ton about this book, but I think it's sort of like this new friendship, babysitting, adventure, mystery, magic sort of dealio. I don't know, I'm intrigued by it. I get like adventures in babysitting, but with magic vibes, and I like that. Next up, we have another chunker, but it's one that I've highly anticipated, and I know a lot of people will be excited that I'm finally gonna experience this, just not on a personal level, but excited because a lot of people love this book. It's for Muggle studies, which means reading a contemporary. It's Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Wow. Yep, this was also, I think, a birthday present from Jocelyn. Still haven't read it. It's freaking signed, so that's really cool. Yeah, I'm excited. For potions, the prompt is to read a book under 150 pages. So we have a little baby classic. This is Alexander's Bridge by Willa Cather? I don't know too much about this, to be honest. I believe it's about an engineer who builds bridges having a midlife crisis. But it's just a little novella. It's a shorty. So should be quick. And finally, my last prompt for the owls, but not my last book for my April TBR. We have Transfiguration, which is to read a book that involves shape-shifting. And it took me way too long to come up with a book on my TBR that involves shape-shifting, but I thought of one, and again, I'm doing myself a favor. I figured I can read Fables Volume 2 because I really liked Volume 1. It was my favorite book from my November reading experiment. I'm just going to promote all my videos in this one TBR. And it features Bigby, who is the big bad wolf, and he can transform from wolf to human form. And I figure he'll be a relevant character in Volume 2 because he was one of the main characters in Volume 1. I hope. Let's hope, so I'm not lying. But yeah, and this one I will read as an ebook through my library because I don't own those. I tend to get graphic novels as ebooks, and then if I love them, then I purchase them because they're so dang expensive, you guys. Okay, so that is all of the books for the owls, but there's still a lot more that I intend to read in the month of April, I'm afraid. So as you might be aware, if you follow my channel, I've been playing TBR games every month, and I thought since April's my birthday month, I would take it easy on myself and choose something a little less strenuous. So I used the TBR Machine. I'll link it down below. Oh shoot. I'll also credit the creator. She has a booktube channel. I'll link her as well. Which is just a website where you click a button and it gives you reading challenges, the same way like a readathon would. So I've been choosing 6 challenges for each of my games. So the first challenge I got is to read a book that is self-published. So my instinct is to say I can do Kids Grown Up, but I cannot confirm that I have another, or like a book in general, on this TBR written by a person of color, and my goal every month is to read at least one book by an author of color. So unless I find that I can get away without this, that's sad considering how long this TBR is. I may also still be reading Know the Mother by Desiree Cooper. This is actually locally published, so that's really cool. It's from a Michigan author. And this is, I think it's short stories about motherhood. In Know the Mother, Desiree Cooper explores the complex archetype of the mother in all her incarnations. love that. We know I love stories about moms. Can't get enough. And I mean, it's like 120 pages. We can squeeze it in. Look at how cool this cover is. Oh, sorry, the light is too shiny. I'm in love with this cover design. So this might also be on my TBR. The next challenge I got was pink on the cover, so I'll use red, white, and royal blue for that, or the Babysitters Coven. They both have pink. For my third prompt, I got read a thriller, so that's not that I could tell. Check. Trying to cross-reference things as much as I can. Oh my god. Then I got borrow a book from the library. That's going to be Fables / any audiobook I choose to listen to. And the fifth prompt really threw me for a loop. It was read a self-improvement book, which I listen to like an okay amount of nonfiction, but usually it's like history or parenting. I guess you could maybe consider parenting books to be self-help. I can't say self-help. I guess you could maybe count parenting books to be self-help books, but I decided to be a little more true to it. And so also through my library, I'm going to be listening to Treating People Well, which I think is exactly what it sounds like it's about. So that sounds cute. Yeah, and it was kind of short, and that's my philosophy. Be kind to other people. So hopefully I like it. And then the last prompt I got was to read the shortest book on your TBR. That's definitely Kids Grown Up, so we good. Now you're probably thinking, okay, Julia, those are your Owls books and your April challenge books. Surely your TBR is done, right? You'd be wrong, my friend, because I have other goals and other buddy reads for the month. Why have I done this to myself? So every month I've been reading a Shakespeare play. I just finished my Henrys, so that's great. The next up is Richard III. Cool, another history, another one I haven't read, so that's kind of fun and different. I believe this is still very relevant to War of the Roses. I think we're gonna have a lot of the same characters. Oh, it says the tragedy of Richard III. Oh yeah. Well, we'll find out. And then I also have my challenge where I read my oldest TBR books from my shelf / Goodreads shelf, whatever aligns that is the oldest that I wanted to read. And I didn't read my book for March, which was The Heart of Betrayal. And April's is The Beauty of Darkness. Great. So am I excited to finish The Remnant Chronicles? Absolutely. I really liked the first book, but am I terrified? Yes. But then we're still not done because the Shakespeare book club is reading The Tempest, which I am not going to read because I already have a Shakespeare play for the month, and Miranda and Milan, which I own, which was, I think, a Christmas present from Jocelyn. I'm just gonna read all of my books from Jocelyn this month. And I really want to read this. Like, this is one that's high up on my TBR. It's just shy of 200 pages, so I mean, it's not that long. But it's about Miranda, who is Prospero's daughter from The Tempest, aka my favorite character from The Tempest, because she's the only girl in that play, so naturally she'd be who I love the most. But sounds good. And then here's where, actually, well, okay, there's two buddy reads left that we need to talk about. One is with my lovely friend Anna from the Baked Book, because she read, this is gonna spoil what it is, she read Anna Kay and she liked it, and she was like, wow, I bet I would really like Anna Karenina now that I know it a little bit better. And I said, I also want to read Anna Karenina. And she said, do you want a buddy read it? And I said, sure. And she's like, how about April? And I was like, sure. So here we have our almost 1,000 pages of Anna Karenina to read. it's a beauty, but why have I done this to myself? And then here comes the real crackhead energy, okay? So just in the scheme of life, Helen from Pages and Peaches was like, hey, does anyone want to read, or does anyone want to buddy read anything that, like, here's my TBR that's coming up? And I was like, oh my God, if I can reread Catching Fire in time, I would love to reread Mockingjay with you. So I don't know. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books that I think I'm going to read in a month. Will it happen? Seems unlikely, but should we have confidence and believe in ourselves? Yes. Please leave me a positive comment to give me inner strength. That's about it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video so you can see more from me. My links to social media are down below. I am fairly active on YouTube nowadays, but I'm a lot more active on Twitter and Instagram and Goodreads, so you can check me out down there, and you will be seeing more of me soon. Bye.